Is the punter Matt Weil. This is taken at the 15. Nice move at the 40. An excellent return that time. 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kem88donthate's. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. And they'll run it here. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Detroit!
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now a handoff looking right. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And some room to maneuver. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Ballage, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Play fake. Cousins. Open man is Thielen is complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Back now with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And now out comes Minnesota. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
Now, let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes. But the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a second down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. Grew up very close to the Twin Cities.
And showing those possession receiver skills right there to pick up the first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Cousins now to throw on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
A second down throw for Cousins. Buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run with a second-year man. This is Jay Ajayi. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's M.O. right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. On the give, this is great. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Sanders is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick the field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Spinning past him. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Balaj. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The Dolphins on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Cousins now from the 50. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
They'll rifle this one deep right side. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Cousins now on second down. It's caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run with a J. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kalen Ballage, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The 40, 30, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have made this now a 1-score game.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
Well, he fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Wide.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
To throw, Cousins. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 13 and also a first down. So first and 10 now from the 30. They run with Ajayi. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. Cousins to throw it. Steps away to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is third and inches.
Black.
Throwing is Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's first and 10 up at the 46. First down. Here's Cousins. He's going to float this over the middle deep. It's caught inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Flushed out right. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Ajayi. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now first and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Here's Cousins. Smith catches left side. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Black.
They get it to him running left. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jay Ajayi with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Important extra point up and through, and that will make this a 4-point game. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And they'll go on the ground. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 14 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Drake. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. He's back to throw. They'll roll him out right. And his throw is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great job in the first half. And now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Back to throw. Man open left side. It's Williams. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make a play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
One final shot here for Rosen. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And